Alright, guys. Pretty much not much happened today. Um, but I figured I at least needed to film something for consistency. So we'll just kind of run through today on the way over to the gym. It's currently about like 9:25. Yeah, 9:25. And gonna finish off the week with some chest. So today was weird. Woke up super early. Not super early. I woke up probably around 6 a.m., maybe just before. Felt ready to go, good to go. And what always happens, I get up. It's freezing because I put the cold air on at night. So it just keeps getting colder and colder and colder throughout the night, and the heat never turns back on. So wake up, good to go. Go to turn up the heat, and I'm like, you know what? Let me jump in bed while the heater kicks in, warms up the house a little bit. Cuddle with my girlfriend, and then I'll get up in a couple minutes. Felt like wide awake, ready to go. I blinked, and I'm not joking. I blinked, and then my girlfriend was dressed and pretty much ready to go to work. And I was like, what the hell just happened? And then I blink again, and she's like, okay, bye, like I'm leaving. Or no. First I blink, she's up, ready, and is like, hey, I'm gonna turn the lights on. And then I was like, to me it felt like a blink, so I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. I've already been up. And then I guess like some time had passed. Anyway, I blink again, she's leaving. I blink again, and it's now like 9 a.m. and I was like, what the? So anyway, that's always frustrating, and I do it time and time again. I have to get better at that. But wake up, have breakfast, 5 eggs, a serving of turkey ham, and a bagel, bottle of water, right around 900, 1,000 calories, maybe 60, 70 grams of protein. Um, work on a couple more things. I think I posted on social media or whatever for the business. Maybe got back to a lead or two. If they reached out recently in the morning, I'll call them in the morning or whatever time that is. But if it's like they reached out yesterday in the afternoon, then I'm gonna reach out the next day in the afternoon, just because I assume they're working or whatever it is that they're doing. I don't know. That's just what I do. I don't know that it's correct. Anyway, so work on a couple things. Go down and do my cardio. 30 minutes of cardio. Take a couple L's on Clash Royale, and then after that I had a banana, and I had what I had left of my rice cakes, which I think was just one. Try and get some more carbs in today, so hopefully have a little bit more energy this lift to finish off the week strong. See how much better I feel with eating some more carbs. And then I spent probably. Oh, then I went back up, worked on some more things, called my leads, and whatnot. Got one person scheduled for around like $600, I think it was. So not bad. Yeah, so not bad. And then let's see. Then I went down to cook for today, and to make myself a nice meal for tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about cooking dinner tomorrow. I made about 6 ounces of chicken breast, like 250 grams of potatoes maybe, and maybe like another 200 grams of broccoli. I don't know. So got plenty of carbs in. I'm actually still behind when it comes to like my macros, but plenty more than I have been getting. Usually like I have like no carbs, come into the gym, not no carbs. I come in with far too little carbs, too many fats, and then my last meal of the day is usually like a nice big bowl of cereal. Um, and so I get all the carbs in at the end of the day, and even then, I'm still not eating as many as I should. So, yeah, I'm hoping as I do a little bit better with it, then my body will respond better and I'll feel better during the lifts. And just overall, if my body has more energy to do everyday stuff, fast energy. But yeah, so now I've got that cooked for tomorrow. I just kind of have to cook a breakfast and then whatever little other stuff that I'll scratch around, um, in the pantry or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyways, I'm gonna go finish my week off strong, my lift week strong. I'm gonna go hit some chest, and I probably I'll film this chest pump if it's a good one. But if not, I'll see you guys in the car. One last thing is the person that I added to the schedule. It was for Sunday, so basically right now this weekend's looking like a $1,500 weekend, and then a slow week. I didn't do nothing throughout the week, but I didn't do a crazy amount during the week. So yeah, that's typically what ends up happening. End up doing a whole lot on the weekend, and either a whole lot during the week, and then I'm looking really good. But if not, then it ends up being a little slower during the week and more busy on the weekend, which I'm perfectly fine with. I don't have an issue with it at all, especially right now. But hopefully, ideally, anywhere from 6 to 8 more months of just steady stuff like this, then I'll start to grow, and yeah, just kind of gotta keep my head down and remember, just a couple more months of this, you do stuff right, and you're back on track. I'm already 4 years in. After 2 years, I was in a really, really good spot. So hopefully, after another couple months, I'm back in that spot, actually better. Anyway, I'll see you guys in there. Hopefully, at that point, I'll have a really good pump, or I'll see you guys in the car. We'll see. All right. I think we've got a good pump going on. See, the chest is looking from the side. I'm not big enough to see everything through this wife beater. Let's just get this off. I feel like this upper chest is starting to get a little fuller here in this area. Still need a lot of work to do here. Yeah, that side chest is looking pretty thick on the side. I feel like I'm not literally leaner, as in like this is gone, but I feel like I'm definitely less like bloated, like less full. That makes sense. Because this feels obviously still really similar. This wouldn't have changed that much in a month. A little different, but I feel like the big difference is just how bloated I was looking, how full. But anyway, there's not that many poses to hit for chest. Whatever. Gonna have to call it here. So you see this right here? This is exactly what I gotta get rid of. This. I got a little bit of fat filling in the mid abs, but. All right, chest complete. What I really need to start doing on days like today, because this is my second chest day of the week, so it's not like as a heavy, like literally my chest cannot lift any more fatigue kind of like the first day, because I come in not with my chest kind of sore, but I definitely come in, it's not fully recovered. Which is, I don't know, maybe it's a mental thing, because, technically I believe I have 3 days rest in between. Let's see, I start Sunday, I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. Oh, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, I got 3 days in between my last chest day and this chest day. But even though my next one starts on Sunday, it's only 2 days from now, I feel more recovered. But I also don't do anything Friday or Saturday. So I don't know, maybe if I knew a little bit more about like anatomy of the human body, how it recovers, maybe I could explain it like in a bro science kind of way. It makes sense in my head to say, oh, my body's not working on recovering anything else, and it's not working anything else out at all. So I don't have anything hard for my body to do. And so I don't know, maybe that's why in those 2 days I recover better, or maybe it's just a mental thing like I was saying. Regardless, it ends up being pretty quick today. So I try and go as hard as I can in a way that I feel like I'm not gonna hurt myself. Even though like I'm not like the strongest guy, like I'm obviously not going super heavy, I'm not super big, but I was in lots of sports. I was in cheer, football, track, and I would lift, and I was on 2 cheer teams. Like I was in school cheer team, and I was on a on like a traveling one. And when I say cheer, I mean like all sorts of flips, and all it was me lifting and throwing around girls and flips. So it wasn't like a stand on the sideline cheering type of deal where it's nope, at no point was I chilling. It was all like heavy, intense, physical, like in terms of lifting, cardio, and just like explosive like flips and stuff like that. And I was super stubborn when I was young. I'm 23. When I was a teenager, so extremely young. When I was a teenager, I did not warm up for anything. Track, football, cheer, my other cheer team, or my lifts. I remember my school cheer team, I didn't warm up at all. I mean, I remember my school cheer team, it was my first hour. And obviously you can't just practice in an hour. So it's like, let's say your first hour starts, I have no idea, I don't remember, let's say 8:30 a.m. You can't fit a practice in an hour. So it's like you show up an hour before that, have that hour of the actual school hour, and then you go to your second hour. So probably even closer to 7. So you're warmed up by 7:30. Practice starts maybe like 2 hours. I don't know, whatever it was. And I would show up. I don't remember exactly, 30 minutes late, maybe, I don't know. But precisely the time, I learned to time it. Whatever time everybody was done warming up, and you start your first reps, which literally was me throwing around a girl. And if you're not familiar, it's just like you grab her by her hips, she jumps up while you throw her up, and you catch her in your hands. So it's definitely something that was worth warming up. I mean, you got your wrist, your shoulders, your elbows all taking like over 100 pounds of impact, and then holding and lifting. And so all this to say, had many issues throughout those athletics. Never had an off season, so was always dealing with something. And even like if I did have breaks, I still went to work out. And so there's just, I mean, there's absolutely no way I would have been able to keep up with it had I not literally been like a teenager and like had like all the energy that you could possibly have. I mean, literally like cheer in the morning, go through school, track practice in the afternoon, take a nap if I had time, and then I'd go to work if I was scheduled for work, and then I'd get out of work, and then I'd go to the gym, and then do it all again. So yeah, that was crazy. Anyway, all that to say that I tend to be a whole lot more fragile now. Not even in the way that I feel like, well, I'm older. I just think I took such bad care of myself when I was younger that now like the stuff that people are getting hit with later on, I'm starting to get hit with, which I can only imagine how I'm gonna feel as I'm older. Maybe I can, as I get more money, I can look into it, start taking more vitamins, do some like workouts that actually strengthen my joints or whatever it might be. But so I take it pretty easy. But what I should do for this chest day is throw in like a little bit of stuff on the sides, like let's say like abs. I never hit abs, or even like some dead hangs. I'm a little weird in the way that I just think like crazy scenarios that I don't want to find myself in. It's like, let's say I have a kid and I'm hanging on like a bar, or I'm hanging on like the side of a cliff or whatever it might be, and I just have to hold on. I want to be able to hold on to it for a while. So maybe just some stuff like that I should throw in so it's not so short. And it's a good workout. Plus some other things that I what's the word? Oh gosh, I lost another word. Neglect. So just touch on those things that I neglect on a day like today, and then I rest up real nice, have some really good sleep, rest up real nice Friday, rest up real nice Sunday, have some really good sleep. Wait, no. Anyway, I don't know, I can't mess that up, whatever. So, yeah. I'm gonna go in, probably wrap up the night with a little bowl of cereal or something, and go to bed. I don't have a car scheduled tomorrow morning, I have one in the afternoon, so I got plenty of time to work on some stuff in the morning, and I even have time after the car in the afternoon. So, yeah. I don't know what sort of value that conversation brought, but, let's see, what would be the overall message? If I was younger, if you're younger, warm up. And I'm still really young, so that sounds ridiculous to say. If you're a teenager and you don't give a shit about anything, just warm up. Like, it's cool to be like, oh, I don't need to warm up. I can jump right in and sprint faster than all you guys. I don't need to warm up. I can jump right in and throw this girl over my head. No, I don't need to warm. I could hit all these flips just like all y'all. I don't need it. You might think you're cool. You're not. You're definitely not. And then before you know it, high school is going to be over, and if you're really cool, then you peaked, and now not only did you peak, but you set your older self up for some not fun times. Everything's going to hurt. So yeah, I guess warm up. And the other thing, if you're gonna go into the gym and have like a shorter day, whatever it is that you're neglecting, probably touch on those a little bit. Calves should not be in that mix. It should not be something you neglect. Hopefully it's something smaller like forearms, a little like abs, some dead hand. If you're prioritizing something like abs over calves, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you have really good calf genetics, but most people don't. So you're probably wrong, which I wouldn't come out and say something like that very often at all, just because, it's very rare that something is just flat out wrong, even that statement. But generally speaking, you're probably wrong if you're ignoring your calves and hitting abs. Because you can never hit abs ever, but if you get lean enough, you're going to have abs. It doesn't matter what you do, if you don't hit calves, you're not going to have calves. Or you get what I'm saying. Anyway, so, yeah. Warm up, take care of yourself, and touch on those things that you're ignoring. So, all right. See you guys on the next one.